Hello everybody and welcome back. Tonight I bring you an account from my hometown as another witness can swear to the Salford Wildman. This happened in 2012 and I'm hoping it'll bring a little bit of validation to the other Salford witnesses out there. Hi Deb, hoping you're well. I believe we share a couple of common denominators. One is Dominic Campion, who is a long-time great friend, and the other being the extraordinary and fascinating interest in the hairy man, the woodwose, Bigfoot, etc. I'm not one for shooting my mouth off, or to exploit or take advantage of a situation, or even abuse artistic license that no doubt we've both and many others have witnessed and seen over the years. But now, after approximately 6 years, I think I'm confident enough to share my experience, or should I say experiences, without being judged or ridiculed, which is the main reason I've kept quiet for so long. It was only by chance that I actually opened up to Dominic in the first place. This only came about after Dom had in April 2017 posted trail cam footage of a deer close to his home on Facebook, and I left a comment referring to him searching for Sasquatch in that area, and the rest is history, as they say. To find out that one of my best mates is into the whole concept of the existence of a large bipedal hominid roaming our earth was a major relief to me. I've always believed, ever since watching the famous Patterson-Gimlin footage way back when, but to actually think of the possibility of something living on our shores is mind-blowing, and never ever really crossed my mind until my two encounters. Well, it was Saturday morning in September 2012, and being an avid mountain bike rider, or should I say off-road cross-country cyclist, I would be out most weekends with at the time a good friend of mine who I'll name Dave. We'd venture all over the northwest to get our cycling kicks, and on this occasion we stayed local, not too far from where I live. We have the Outward Trail at Phillips Park, Drinkwater and Clifton Country Parks, which are all linked by trails and paths, and offer a good riding, not extreme I might add, and walking, and just general outdoor enjoyment is for everyone's pleasure, as I'm sure you know. And we're transversing up and down the Outward Trail and eventually hit Waterdales, where there's a number of trails and loops which come off the main track. And it was on one of these loops I had my first encounter. We were facing the direction of the start of the Outward Trail with the 13 Arches and the River Irwell to our left, when we both bore right onto a single track loop which rises through fenced off forestry commission land. This land was overgrown with shrub and brush either side of the trail for about approximately 40 yards before taking a sharp right angle left. And after carrying on for no more than, I'd say, 10 yards or so, Dave, who was leading, came to a standstill. I slowed down, stopping just behind Dave, and I noticed something in the corner of my right eye. I immediately looked to my right and saw what I can only best describe as a very large creature, maybe 20 yards away. I'm not going to get into the realms of what it wasn't. Rather, I will just say what I actually saw. It was brown in colour, not dark, but a light tan. And although it wasn't square onto me, its head sat on very broad set of shoulders with no neck. I couldn't make out any facial expressions or specifics due to the dark complexion. It was leaning forward on long arms, not too dissimilar to the stance of a gorilla. I could just see the top of its legs and muscular thighs above the undergrowth. Now this all happened in the space of maybe 4 seconds before it rose slightly onto its feet, before bounding off in one movement to its right into thick tree cover. I estimate this thing was easily 7 to 8 feet, maybe more in height, and I turned to Dave, who was fiddling with his bike, and quickly asked, "Did you see that?" Dave shrugged and said, "What?" I hesitated and thought if I actually told him what I'd seen, and with him being a bit of a joker, I'd never hear the end of it, and the ridicule would have been unbearable. And this was just something I wasn't prepared to go through for anyone at any price. So I just answered, it must have been a deer. which he again just shrugged off and thought nothing of, as deer are regularly spotted in the area. And we carried on our way, and no more was said about it. By the time I got home, my mind was racing, and I know what I saw, but I didn't know what to think or who to tell, or anything for that matter. So I just decided to keep it locked down and not let it fester on my mind. Then, 2 weeks later, as bizarre as it sounds, it happened again. I was alone this time around, and I was cycling in the same area, but was heading towards Dam's Head Lodge, when I stopped to remove some annoying bits and pieces that had got caught up in the bike chains, and I was immediately overcome with an uncomfortable, heightened sense of being watched. Approximately 40 yards to my left was a very large bipedal creature. This thing was standing, leaning to its left from behind a tree, staring in my direction, before disappearing after a few seconds behind the same tree and undergrowth. It was exactly the same colour, and I estimate its dimensions were the same as the last encounter. I couldn't believe what I was seeing again. I still can't believe it. This time around, I got straight back on my bike and sped off out of there as quick as I could. And it's only now, as a result of some heavy prompting from Dominic, that I've decided to share my experiences. I'm not one for fictional storytelling, as the last time I put pen to paper was a very long time ago, donning a school uniform, and I didn't expect to be sharing my experiences in the public domain. However, if some good can come out of this and prompt more people to come forward, all the better in my opinion. Take care and keep up the great work that you do, Tony. And then Tony added a postscript. He says, I only came across this picture while watching a recent episode on Snowwalker Prime's Mum and Baby, Bigfoot. And I've added a link to that into the description below. And the actual artist thumbnail that was used for this episode is exactly what I saw, said Tony. Except, in my first encounter, the creature was facing in the opposite direction. Everything, from the stance to the size and colour, matched with what I saw. I get goosebumps just thinking about it now. And as you can imagine, I cannot thank Tony and Dominic enough for this. We always knew he was out there, but we were never able to find him. But Dominic went out to the site with him. They had a good look round and showing him where everything was. And strangely, it's the area that me, Darren and Rob go to, because we kind of feel drawn to that area. And he mentioned the deer, and I had a look back through the old records, and it was actually Phillips Park was known for the deer. And the link as you walk round is it's amazing. There's a structure on there and everything, absolutely fantastic. So as you can imagine, this account was validation of my own account of a similar creature back in '82, which was then followed by further sightings in 1984, 1995, this account in 2012, then 2015 and 2017, all within a few miles radius of each other. From Buell Hill to the Ellesmere Golf Club, and then on to Drinkwater Park and Phillips Park, along the River Irway Valley, we have 6 accounts spanning almost 40 years. And that is just the witnesses willing to be named. There are a further 4 witnesses still unwilling to come forward. Hopefully, in time, we'll be able to change that. And the more people who put their hand up and say, I saw it too, the quicker we'll do that. If you've witnessed something like this in the Salford area, or along the Irwell Valley corridor, or in the UK in general, please get in touch and we can work out what, how and who together.